Hey, everybody, welcome to our ABC Huddle for February 15th. Today, we're just going to cover something a lot of you have been requesting, and that is how do we handle election of officers? So I'm going to share my screen. And first, I want to welcome Marceline. She's brand new to the team. Thank you for joining us today, Marceline. All right, so I have pulled up a couple of different examples. We're going to look at the DRB first. That's this. This particular board has two. It's a different boards, but they meet at this two different times of the month. So there's a DRBB and a DRBA. This is out of Wilsonville, and their process is pretty much the same. But I was going to just point out a little bit of a difference, and it's not something that usually happens. So as this agenda item comes on, usually the city attorney, assistant city attorney, in this case, the planning manager, kind of just goes through, they describe the role of the chair, the vice chair, what their jobs are, what their responsibilities are, and then they'll also just highlight the process. In some cities, they do, an actual paper vote where they'll pass out the paper. They literally, as it says, they highlight the nominating and electing process for these two officers, chair and vice chair in this instance. You'll see that on both of them, on these two files, whoops, sorry about that. On these two files, it's slightly different. So in one of the meetings, he described the role of the chair and vice chair, and in the other meeting, he did not. So it's not necessarily always just copy and paste, boilerplate. We really want to pay attention so we're accurate to the audio, right? So these range all over the place. You'll see on the actual documents, it's really just the nominations and the vote. The nominations and the vote. Different cities also do this different. A lot of times you'll see this just not voted, not bolded when a nomination is made. So it just depends on the city. There's really no right or wrong way necessarily. But for our purposes, and what I really want to clarify is people will visit, who all wants to be chair? I don't want to be chair. Oh yeah, I'd be interested. Me too, whatever. You can have multiple people interested, and you can also have multiple nominations. However, a lot of the boards don't speak in the way that the language should be shared. They're always nominating a chairperson. They're nominating a vice chair, but you'll often hear them say, I move to elect Rachel Barrett for DRB chair. It's the move to elect is not quite what's happening. They're nominating them. It seems really simple in these two examples because there was only one nomination made. If there was more than one, we'd seen maybe John Andrews also nominated Joe Smith for the 2023 DRB board chair. There could be several nominations. And so there's no second to those generally. You don't hear, I second that nomination. So it's not a motion per se, but the board will speak all around that. So we just changed the wording to so-and-so nominated so-and-so for whatever the position is. And then if there's more than one or two nominations, often we will put in, there were no further nominations before they take this vote. So I'm just highlighting the one here on the right. It's very similar to the other one. And then they take a vote, and there are different ways to do it. And in these two meetings, same city, slightly different boards, but they did it different. In the one on the left side here, they did a roll call vote where every name of the board member was called, and they answered aye or nay. In this case, it was unanimous. So that's just called a roll call vote. Some cities, and all of you who have cities that do an actual roll call, they actually print out the ayes, and then they name all of the persons that respond, and then any nays, they name the person who voted opposed. That's not necessary for the election of the officers. Generally, it's pretty unanimous. The only other thing you will see is they call for, is everyone in favor? That's a voice vote where everybody at one time answers aye or nay. That's a voice vote. Most, not always, but often whoever has been nominated or whoever they're voting on will often abstain. So in either case, you would say following a roll call vote, Rachel Barrett was elected as DRB chair for 2023 by a 4-to-1 vote, with Rachel Barrett abstaining. A lot of times they don't want to vote for themselves, but in this case, they voted for themselves and it was over in a hot minute. But those are the couple of things you'll see. So whether it's a roll call vote or a voice vote, if someone abstains, we'd still say that they were elected as chair or elected as vice chair, but it wouldn't be unanimous because we'd have that abstaining vote. And so I'll just type out what that looks. So if you have I vote, let's say 4-2-0-2-1 with Rachel Barrett abstaining. This would be 1 sentence, obviously. And so in this case, it's 4 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 abstained. I think I misspoke that earlier. So she still is elected. She wouldn't be unanimous. This would be removed. And then that's how you would state that. So it's different, a little bit different for different cities. So those are the DRB. That's an example of DRB. Astoria's library board also had the election of officers, and they did very much the same thing. It was Mr. McClure moved to elect Laura Parker, I believe is how the original was, for this position. And then it just went to Laura Parker was unanimously elected chair. But there should be some sort of a recollection of voice vote there or a roll call vote. Again, it's different. When we're doing these meetings, we also want to make sure we capitalize the officer's chair or the office of whoever they're electing. So vice chair or chair should both be capitalized, excuse me. And then this is another unusual one because they elect their chair, and then in this board, the chair just appoints who the vice chair is. There isn't elections for both. The chair was nominated and elected, and then the chair then appointed who their vice chair was going to be. So that's a couple of different ways that we handle election of officers. If you have any questions, of course, reach out and we can try and cover that next time or go over it. We will be having our February 22nd team huddle, and we'll have some new announcements. As all of you know, we worked on Slack last week, and we will be posting that video. I apologize that did not get posted yet. And we've just found a new tool. Well, actually, we just found how Slack connects with our Trello cards. And so I'm still researching how that all flows together, but thanks to Letty, she found that for me. And I think that's going to it's going to help us to just eliminate any kind of communication through at Yahoo or our email address, just because the threads get lost, and our email is really our main point of contact for all of our clients. So it's nice to have the team in one area and then have our clientele all on the same page, no pun intended, in our email. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching the recording, and I look forward to your feedback. Have an amazing weekend.